Hi, this is Sam.
And this is Jess.
And I'm Harriet from Häxan.
You're listening to Rhino Radio.
So today I have the honor of being joined by all members of Häxan. I got Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Vocals and guitar. I got Harriet on bass. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you.
And Jess on drums.
Hiya.
Hello. So thank you very much for joining me today. And before we jump into the fun stuff, let's talk about business. You have a new album, your debut, White Noise, is coming out July 24th. And with all the excitement for that, I would like for you to kind of introduce yourself as you're relatively a new band. Say your name and what you actually want us to know about you.
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm Sam. As you touched upon, I'm the singer and guitarist, and I love Marmite to the point of I would actually bathe in it.
Would she does?
Does.
I'm Harriet, and I'm the bass player, but I also provide comedic relief.
Very nice.
And I love cats. Sorry, forgot about that one.
Yeah, and I'm Jess. I play drums. Me and Harriet frequently bond over cat. So I can vouch for the cat loving.
Yeah. Sounds creepy, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It is what it is. We're not ashamed.
So you're already leading me to my first question. What's with the band and cats? The cover picture is of you with cats. I think they're all even hairless. And the artwork of the album is also with cats. There's even a track called 9 Lives that I'm guessing is a tribute to cats. So what's going on?
Yeah, everything is a tribute to cats, yeah. Basically, I was the one who came up with the original idea.
She hates cats.
And I don't hate cats. I don't hate cats. I'm catist. I don't hate them. I'm a dog person more than a cat person. So I don't hate cats. But obviously these two were going to agree when I had this cat idea. And then it just and then it just escalated very quickly.
It was an easy win. We don't agree on much. So Sam was like, okay, well, I think we can agree on cats.
So is that going to be a continuous theme for every release in the future?
Yep, decided.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if Harriet showed up dressed like a cat. I mean,
our next album is going to be covers of Cats the musical songs.
That's a dangerous topic.
Concept
memories.
And if I'm mistaken, you actually went into lockdown with the album not completely done. If I'm mistaken, you had to adapt to the new reality and had to finish some bits of the album while in lockdown. Is that true?
That is true, yeah. There was a few harmonies that weren't recorded. So I had to record them using a really shitty microphone. But it did the job. If people can pick out which ones they are, and don't say all of them because they're all shit, then, yeah. So, yeah, it was fine. I don't think you can really tell.
And obviously, we're all struck with this new reality. How did you keep positive while not being able to go to the studio, to meet, obviously plan a tour, and get excited about the album the proper way? How did you keep positive in a weird new reality?
I think for me, it was having something to focus on other than what was going on. You know, for me, it almost came at a good time of trying to see the positive of it, is that we were so focused on getting everything sorted and the excitement of it all. At least that's something to focus all of your energy on, when otherwise you kind of just sat there with your thumb at your ass, kind of waiting for something to happen. So yes, it's difficult, and yes, obviously it's probably one of the harder times to try and release and promote an album. But at the same time, for our mental health and for other people's mental health, it's something to look forward to. And to be a bit of a distraction, if nothing else.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because obviously without gigging, it's very easy to just, feel like shit, really, because that's the one thing we have really, together. And so it's, something to focus on and not just kind of wallow in the fact that no one knows what's going on or when things are going to go back to some kind of normal. So yes, I think it's the one thing that me personally has kept me sane is being able to think about the album and plan things and keep promoting and whatnot.
Yeah, ditto, basically. Everything the girls have said, I just echo it. It's kept us really busy. The only downside for me was that I found really hard is obviously, much like every other musician in the country, we went from gigging so regularly and so frequently to like cold turkey.
To nothing. Yeah.
And that was really hard for me because I relied on sort of that environment and seeing the girls on a regular basis and stuff like that, and that sort of structure and routine more than I probably realized. And to have them sort of like taken out of my life and gigs taken out of my life, like I said, cold turkey, that was really difficult. So I was glad that we had something we could share, like the album, to keep our spirits up, sort of thing.
Thank you very much for sharing that. But I am a bit surprised that you didn't show any gratitude towards your cats.
They always are.
Of course.
Lockdown and always in my entire life.
Five.
Okay, ladies, I want to confront you with 3 rumors. And I want you to either...
I mean, none of them are true.
So the first one is that you start a new thing called a roller derby mosh pit. Is that true?
Okay, well, I used to play roller derby. Obviously, with lockdown and everything, I haven't skated for a long time. But I did used to play roller derby. With regards to roller derby mosh pit, I guess roller derby is a mosh pit because everyone's punching each other in the face. So I guess roller derby is kind of a mosh pit. But
is
yeah,
you bring to shows?
Say it again. Sorry.
Is it something you bring to shows?
Well, it's not. A couple of the roller derby girls on my team did used to come to shows, but
not dressed, ready to go.
Not dressed in roller derby attire, but that didn't stop them punching each other. But that's quite a regular occurrence.
Rumor number 2. Apparently, Harriet is titled as persona non grata in Wales as a corrupter of the youth. Is that true?
Yeah.
What? This is news to me.
Me too, but you can't disagree with it.
I'm not allowed anywhere near children or youth, so I can't get close enough to them to corrupt.
Last time you were near children, you drew a massive penis on your leg, so let's...
Yeah.
Parading it around.
Okay, so far it's almost 2 for 2. Let's see if rumor number 3 is true as well. With the album coming out in just a few days, White Noise, July 24th, fans are scared or excited that there's going to be a secret track, a tribute to Tiger King. Is that true?
Not on the album, but Harriet,
we can possibly comment. No, we can't comment on that.
Harriet's currently in a legal battle with Joe Exotic, so I think the least we say about that, the better.
Okay, so we're going to have to wait, and the surprise will come soon.
It's more likely to be a secret track about Jennifer.
Oh, okay. So we'll wait. I'll keep following your pages, and we'll see what's coming out of that. I want to go a bit more serious with you, with the Let the Music Play movement starting to kind of start the fire underneath the government. There was always a weird love-hate relationship between music and art and politics. Who do you think owes who now? Is it politicians that owe us to help musicians survive, or is it the art and music that have to kind of start the fire below the government all the time?
I think this is a Harriet question.
Oh, baby, you don't even know. You don't even know. So I don't think it's I don't think it's fair to put the onus on musicians and artists, especially when it's health related. If this was some sort of oppressive regime, which I know it feels like, but there are serious health reasons for it, then yeah, it's absolutely a reason to revolt and to kind of fight the power, which is when a lot of the best music comes out. However, I don't think it's fair to put the responsibility back onto musicians and artists when, if there were to be another outbreak, they're then an easy target to... It's similar to the Black Lives Matter thing, in all honesty, in terms of, if there's another spike, it's because people have been fighting for their rights for Black lives, basically. That's not fair. You can't blame them on that, and you can't blame a spike because people want to listen to live music. So I 100% think that it is the politicians and it's the government's responsibility to pump money and support back into the live music industry and to make up for the lost time that's been had.
So can I expect some more political or activism in your music in the future?
Harriet's more of the type, rather than writing in the music, she's more of the type to shit on people's doorsteps. So I think
they can expect some feces in the mail, but I think that's about it.
So the deluxe edition is going to be a steamy one.
Yeah, it's going to be white shit.
Shite noise.
Shite noise.
So creative in this interview.
Brown noise.
I want to keep you coming on that topic, but go a bit more personal. From your experience as musicians, as fans, is there something specific that you think the scene either needs to stop doing or do more of to make it more welcoming and safer to more fans and more musicians?
That's quite a hard one. I think, obviously, we never have any issues really at shows. A lot of other female musicians touch upon encroachment of personal space and stuff like that. But I think there's sort of like a mutual respect, mainly because they think Harriet's going to kick the shit out of them. And she will. So there's sort of a mutual respect between us and the fans, I think. So we're lucky in that sense. But obviously there are instances,
I guess in
the wider context of things where obviously there's issues regarding personal space and unwanted contact and stuff like that. But I think in the grand scheme of things, you can't tarnish everybody with the same brush, because it's only a slight few individuals in a massive sea of people who enjoy going to gigs, I think.
I think the biggest thing that needs to change is more people just need to go to gigs. Do you know what I mean? There's definitely, like, obviously not everywhere, but there's definitely a lack of people going to like smaller local gigs. But then the same people are more than willing to spend £100 on going to see a massive band, you know what I mean, rather than spending a £5 and going to see 4 local bands. So I think that's one thing that does need to change, is more people just need to get out and support live music. And, you know, these same people are sharing all these things about saying support, you know, the local venues and stuff. But
not going to
actually
gigs.
Then get out when we can, get out and go to these gigs and support them yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of on a separate note to this, but I had a big rant probably approaching a year ago, more like inside, so internally in the scene, as to how the actual small independent music industry is starting to work now, or used to work, whereby essentially artists are taken for a ride, or musicians are taken for a ride, and they're expected to play for free, they're expected to play for exposure. The kind of matrix for what bands should be paid is completely skewed, obviously all dependent on draw, etc. But a promoter's job is to promote, and that seems to be as far as making a Facebook event and inviting all of his friends.
Maybe not even that in some cases.
Yeah. If you're lucky.
Maybe not even that in some cases.
Yeah, or it's the band's responsibility to do all the promotion, and they reap, I don't know, half of the door money. So I don't know. Hopefully this lockdown will almost level the playing field a little bit. But I mean, I doubt it. I just feel like with the live music industry, certainly before lockdown, it was becoming less and less tangible to be paid what you're due for the work that you're producing. And it seemed as though more and more promoters were pulling out the stops to get bands to play for free, rather than having the band's best interests at heart. So I would like to see that to change, and I think that would then have a knock-on effect on the amount of people that can come to gigs, that get involved, and then just the overall spread of whatever benefits that is shared out more equally.
Ladies, thank you very much for sharing that. Hopefully we'll get to a safe future where we can all go to a show and enjoy it regardless of who we are, what we like, and how much money we need to make out of that day. So thank you for that. I want to touch just on one last thing with the recent social protests over the world. Kind of confronted me in asking some questions that I might not like the answer to. But I was wondering, what do you feel about any band being described as either female fronted or all female, or just adding that gender card to the music regardless of what music it is?
I think it's unnecessary, but I've always looked at it this sort of way. We obviously, being an all-girl band, we get tarnished under that brush. But a lot of female musicians tend to try and fight it to the point where they feel really passionately about it, and that's fine. Obviously, it's not a genre. It's just it's not a genre. It's just they happen to have a female singer or female musicians. But
don't tell anything about the band. What are they playing?
Yeah. But I tend to look at it this way, and I think a lot of others would probably disagree. But we've been booked in the past purely on the novelty sort of factor that we are an all-girl band. But then we get told, oh, you don't play like a girl band, or you don't sound like a girl band, whatever that is. So we see it as, rather than try and fight it and say, oh, how dare you, etc., we use that as an opportunity to get a foot in the door.
And then fucking show 'em who we are.
Yeah, basically, and then use what we do to blow the fucking windows out.
Love the answer. Thank you very much. So we said that White Noise is coming out July 24th. Is there anything else you want to say to fans and listeners before we say goodbye?
Just a massive thank you to everyone who supported us, not even just through this lockdown, but for always. We're super grateful to all the fans. We couldn't have done this campaign successfully without you guys. And the support has really blown us away. So thank you.
I would say the same thing. And I can't wait to get my tits out for everybody when lockdown's over.
Just fight it out.
Release the girls, Harriet.
I'm releasing the girls. Release the girls tour 2021, probably.
Häxanofficial.bandcamp.com.
There was no fluff around that. That was just a cheeky
I thought you heard that story. I don't know if you heard, didn't hear.
Sam, Harriet, Jess of Häxan, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure. I cannot wait to enjoy the album on July 24th and hopefully see you dressed and not with the girls out on the stage very soon.
All right,
so
then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe.